Hey everyone, it's Allie and welcome to my channel. So today's video will be quite the adventure because I am going to be attempting to read 7 romances in 7 days leading up to Valentine's Day. So I did a challenge like this before. I think back in like October I read or attempted to read 7 thrillers in 7 days and I got through 6. Which I was kind of annoyed at myself for because I'm just a very competitive person and I really don't like to fail challenges. But of course, reading is not the only thing I have to do in the day, unfortunately. So yeah, still reading 6 books in 7 days I think is pretty dang impressive. But all that to say, I'm still really hoping I can get the 7 books read this week. This morning I did start my first one. It was The Spanish Love Deception, which of course is all over TikTok. And thankfully it does read pretty quickly, and that's a main reason why I have confidence that I can complete this challenge, because I feel like romances just read really quickly, and I feel like I could probably read like 3 over Saturday and Sunday this week. But I only read for a little bit this morning. I got up a little bit early and then I read over like a 45-minute lunch break, and I'm already on page 86 out of like 450, but this is one of the longer books that I'll be reading. So far I'm really enjoying this. I don't quite get like the major hype that this received. It's just the classic enemies to lovers, girl needs a date to her sister's wedding and she has to take the grouchy guy at the office. It's basically the proposal, and I do find that these first 86 pages could have probably been cut down to like 50. It's a little bit unnecessarily wordy, I feel like, but it is a cute story. I can picture it in my head. I already want to see the movie. So I am enjoying it so far. Of course, I'll keep you updated, but ideally I'll finish this one today. And then here are the other books that I picked out. I'm not a super big romance girly by any means, so I tried to pick a variety of romances so they wouldn't all be like rom-coms set in present day, you know what I mean? So I decided to get Bridgerton, The Duke and I. This is a whole series, but this is the first one. I got this off of Book Outlet for just a couple bucks. And I was interested in this one because I do love historical fiction, and this one of course is set in the past. And if I do like this, then I'll watch the series because I haven't seen that one yet. And this one is like 450 pages too, but it is a pretty short book, so I feel like I could easily get through this one in a day. Then of course you cannot have a romance challenge without having a Colleen Hoover book. This one is All Your Perfects, and I've read Verity, which is by far my favorite Colleen Hoover book. I also read It Ends With Us, which I flew through, and that might be it actually. I bought It Starts With Us, but I'm gonna read that next month. But I feel like I'm gonna read this one really quickly. Even if I don't absolutely love it, I feel like I could read it fast. Her books can definitely be a little bit dark, so we'll see how that one goes. Then this one I got in a mystery box. I'll link that video up above if you missed it. This one is called Very Sincerely Yours by Carrie Winfrey, author of Waiting for Tom Hanks, which I've heard good things about. This one follows Teddy Phillips, who's 30 years old. She works at a bookstore, and her guilty pleasure is watching this children's show, which is hosted by Everett St. James, and she starts writing him letters. So that sounds very cute. It sounds like a Tom Hanks movie, honestly, and love all of his romances. But I feel like this will be a good like Sunday afternoon book, so I'll save that one, I think. Then this one I've had on my to-be-read shelf for a while, probably almost a year. I did get this from Book Outlet. This is Life and Death, Twilight Reimagined, the 10th anniversary edition, so it's been a while. So I was a somewhat Twilight girly. I read all the books, saw the movies. They were coming out when I was in middle school and high school, so it was just a really fun thing to do. And I did think the books were really good, a lot better than the movies. And this is the reimagining. It's like gender swap. So it says, you know Bella and Edward, now get to know Beau and Edith. So even if this is like the same thing as Twilight but flopped, it's been so long since I've read those books that I think this will still be good. I wanted to add this one to the pile because it is more of like a moody emo read. Then the last one I have with me right now is A Far Wilder Magic, and this one will kind of fit like the fantasy void, I think. Definitely a bit of a fantasy girly. This one follows Margaret Welty, and she spots the legendary Hala, the last living mythical creature. And when you see that, I guess, there is a hunt. And you have to have a team of 2 to register for the hunt, and she needs an alchemist. So sounds like the alchemist in the story will end up being the love interest, but a very fantastical book. This will probably end up being my personal favorite, I think. And then I do have one more book, because that's only 6, of course, and I got Lessons in Chemistry, I think is what it's called, also a very popular book talk book. I got that from Book of the Month, and that hasn't come in yet. It should definitely be here within the next couple of days though, but I've heard great things about that book, and it is from a debut author, so we love that. But alright, what an intro. I'm excited. I hope you're excited. It is 2:30 Tuesday afternoon. I just finished filming a video for my main channel, and I need to edit a video for this channel, but I think I'm gonna take like a half hour, 45-minute break and drink some coffee and dive back into the Spanish love deception. Then later on today, I'm gonna be going to trivia with some friends, and then I think I'll come back, maybe get a bath, just chill out and read for a few hours until bed. And hopefully we'll get it done. Hey guys, it is the next day. It is Wednesday, about 11 a.m. and I feel like it's just been nonstop since I last checked in with you guys, because after I read for a little bit yesterday afternoon, I had to edit a whole video, and that went right up until the trivia night, and Ryan, my husband, and I were at trivia for 3 hours, which was so fun. We hadn't seen our friends in a while, so that was just like such a good catch-up. Highly recommend trivia as just something fun to do in your area. I feel like everybody has that. But yeah, then by the time I got back, it was like 9:15. I still had some work to do, so I did work for like another hour, and then I read for just a little bit before bed, woke up early, did some more work, had to go to a meeting, did a little bit of reading in like pockets, and now, yeah, it's like 11. I've got another meeting, but this is kind of more, it's like a meeting, but it's also very much social time for me, and we're gonna walk along some water, so that's gonna be super nice. But this is definitely the key to getting a lot of reading done when you are busy, when you still have a normal life and you have to get work done and you want to see people. You just have to bring your book and read it like in these little pockets of time. Like I literally probably will have 2 minutes after I finish this clip to read, but I'll get a couple pages done. But right now I am on page 251. Ideally, I would have finished this book already, but it's okay because these days are going to be a little bit busy, and then I think I can do a lot of reading in the evenings, and then this weekend I should have a bit of time. When I get home, I am going to read probably for like 45 minutes to an hour because the rest of the day shouldn't be too crazy. Then I'll probably film another video and then get a lot of reading done this evening. But so far I'm really liking the book. The first like 75 pages or so, I was not thinking it was going to be all that great. I thought like it was overhyped already, but it's like cheesy in the best way, and I'm really enjoying it. I love like the banter between the two characters. I can absolutely see the movie in my head. I really hope they do make this a movie. I'm sure they will because it's so popular, but I feel like that would end up being one of my favorite rom-coms. But alright, with that being said, I am gonna go ahead and get a few pages in before my walk and talk meeting, and then I will catch in with you guys later. Just got home from a little walk and talk meeting, got a meeting done, and also got 3 miles in, so worked out very well. And I came home to find my book of the month on my front porch, so let's open it up. If you've never got book of the month before, I would highly recommend it. I never thought that I would be like a monthly subscription type person because I felt like it was a ripoff, but I actually do feel like book of the month is a really good deal. So for this month, I actually got 2 books, and then they do also give you a little bookmark, so that's nice. But the 2 books that I got are actually both romances, although I'm just gonna read one this week. So we've got Emily Henry's People We Meet on Vacation. This one, of course, all over Book Talk, so I am gonna read this one during the month of March. I'm going to do a whole month of book talk books. So really hoping I enjoy this one. And then I am going to read Lessons in Chemistry this week. This one is by Bonnie Garmis, I think is how you say your name, but also heard fantastic things about this. I could have easily, switched these out. Both of these were pretty popular on Book Talk, but I feel like I'm a little bit more interested in reading this one right now, and then I'll be in the South for a little bit during March, the month of Book Talk. So I figured this would be a good one to read then. But it's about 12:30, so I'm just gonna make some lunch. I'm gonna read a little bit over lunch and chill out for a bit before getting back to work. So it's a bit later, it's 5:30, and I just finished The Spanish Love Deception. Once I was able to put like a couple solid hours of reading in, I was able to get through it pretty quickly. I've just kind of been working, reading, working, reading, taking a break. This has been a pretty chill work day for me because I got a lot of stuff done this morning. So yeah, we got through it, and I am surprised that this book was like so widely talked about and loved, because I don't even read that many rom-com type books, and I feel like I've read a few that I haven't heard anybody talk about that were like significantly better. But it was okay. I enjoyed reading it. It was very slow at the beginning, and it's kind of like the whole enemies to lovers, but the guy is literally so nice the entire time, so it doesn't really make sense to me. But ultimately, I would say probably a 4 out of 5. Worth reading, but nothing to really write home about. And this evening, I'm gonna start Very Sincerely Yours. This is the really cute one. Sounds really cute, about the woman that works at a toy store that writes letters to the guy who hosts a children's show. So excited for this one. This one like started out super PG and then got very graphic, so I'm not sure what this one will be, but I will keep you updated. It's now about 9 o'clock, settled in for the night. Going to spend probably the next hour and a half or so reading Very Sincerely Yours. And I totally didn't realize. So I got this in a mystery box from a local bookstore, the Book Loft. And I was kind of confused as to why they gave me this book, because I asked more for historical fiction and thrillers. But this book is set here in Columbus, and this author is from Columbus. So that's pretty cool. I'm really enjoying the book so far. Really good characters. I am just about 50 pages into it, so not far at all, but I just really like the dialogue in the book so far. But it's pretty fun just to hear some of the local neighborhoods thrown around. So definitely, if you are an Ohio person, I know I have some local people who watch, I would recommend this so far. Only 50 pages in though. Good morning. We are back in the car. My hair is wet. Decently early on Thursday morning, 9:30. I'm about to head to my Bible study. Definitely need to get going. But last night I did read for a few hours, and I read for like 45 minutes this morning of Very Sincerely Yours. I'm on page 212 out of 350. So definitely nearing the end. I want to finish this afternoon if I can. I'm really enjoying it. I think it's a lot better, honestly, than The Spanish Love Deception. It's very cutesy. It'll be interesting if it's like The Spanish Love Deception and that it went from PG to R very quickly. Like, honestly, not very smoothly in some ways. I hope that doesn't happen with this one. I hope it kind of retains the Hallmark charm. Okay, sorry, I'm a hot mess this morning. My memory card is now full. But yeah, I'm more personally a fan of the more innocent, behind closed doors romances. I don't need to read everything. I don't need to picture everything. My favorite romances are always ones that have really good stories at the core. But when I get back from Bible study, I have a doctor's appointment just virtually, and then it'll be lunchtime. So hopefully I can take like an hour or so and just like knock through the rest of this book. It does read pretty quickly. and then, got more filming and editing to do. My life got some more work to do, and then hopefully I'll have a few hours this evening to get started on a new one. I'm thinking Twilight. I need something different than like a rom-com after this, a little bit of a break. All right, it has been a long day, I feel like. I got a lot of stuff done, appointments, meetings, work, reading. I didn't finish Very Sincerely Yours yet. I was hoping I could get this done and then just have the full evening to read my third book. But I only have 40 pages of this left. Like, I can definitely crank this out in the next half an hour or so. And then I'm gonna start Life and Death, because I want to read something that's not like a rom-com. I want a little bit of a break from that. So I'm hoping this is really good. This one is like about 400 pages, I would say. So I am excited to read that because it has been so long since I have read the Twilight books. It's about 8 o'clock. I am gonna go ahead and get in the bath. I've got some Epsom salt in there. I went to the gym, feeling a little bit tired and sore, and I've got a very early morning tomorrow. I'm gonna go do a little bit of volunteering for the morning. So I'll be up and out of here early, won't be able to get any reading done. But then when I get back, I want to go to a coffee shop and get a lot of writing done. And I have a hard time just sitting down and writing for like 4 or 5 hours. So I'll bring probably this one with me. I'm sure I won't finish that tonight. And hopefully I will be able to get that done tomorrow. But this weekend, it's just the Super Bowl, and that's about it. Here is the whiny puppy boy himself, little Gibby. Okay, from the transition, it is now Sunday. I think the last time we had a little chat about the books was Thursday evening. Honestly, Friday I was gone for a good part of like the work day. I was doing some volunteering with kids. We had a big Valentine's Day party and it just kind of wiped me out. I literally came home and took like a 2-hour nap. And then I made the mistake of going on Netflix and I saw that the new season of You is out, the first 5 episodes, and I don't actually watch television that much at all. I'm more prone to watching like maybe a couple YouTube videos in a day rather than like a TV series because I just have no self-control. I feel like with shows like that, if I start watching it, I just like have to watch the whole thing within a couple days. So pretty much all Friday evening, I like slept and watched You, which is based on a book series. I haven't read it yet. Let me know if I should read those books, but I really love that show. I think it's very well done. Penn Badgley as the main character is 100% perfect for it. And this season I think is actually going to be my favorite, so I would recommend that. But all that to say, I did 0 reading on Friday, and then Saturday I did struggle through reading Life and Death. And the reason that I was struggling was just because this truly is the exact Twilight book. The ending is different. She made this more of a standalone novel, but it really is the exact same book as Twilight, except it was gender swapped. And it's kind of funny, but I actually like the gender swap version better. I just had a hard time getting through it because I knew the story so well. But there's a guy, Beau, instead of the girl, Bella, and the girl, vampire Edith, instead of Edward. And I don't know why, but I just feel like it worked better. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend this because it's literally Twilight, but if you are really into Twilight, or if you, like me, have not read the series for like over 10 years and it's a little bit fuzzy, I would recommend like getting this from the library or getting it super cheap. I would not pay more than like $10 for this one. But as a standalone novel, I would say this is like a 4 out of 5 for me. And then last night, Saturday night, and this morning, Sunday morning, I have read Lessons in Chemistry. I did finish this up and I started off really excited. I really do like the writing style of this author, Bonnie Garmus, and I know this is her debut novel. And this actually is not a super romance book. I was thinking like that was the main genre, but it's actually listed as like humor and historical fiction because it is set in the 50s, 60s. I would not really say this is humorous. There are like humorous dialogue points, but like not very much more than any other kind of book. But I really did like the writing style of that. The main thing I will say about this book, so it kind of follows this chemist, a female chemist, in a time when women were not really respected that much. So that's like a big point of the story. And I won't say too much more than that because it's a lot of jumping around in time, which I did like, and you kind of just find things out as you go through. But I did feel like she really was kind of poo-pooing on religion and religious people in general. You guys, I'm such a hot mess in this video. My battery just ran out and I have to hurry up and go to church. So sorry, I gotta film this on my phone quick. But yeah, I didn't love her portrayal of religion and religious people. Like, everybody that was religious in this book was corrupt, immoral, secretly an atheist. And she very much implied that, like, you have to choose science or religion, which I very much do not agree with. But it was written really well. There was a really cute dog character, so I loved that. And overall, I would say writing style wise, it was like a 4.5, but overall for me, it was more of a 4. So tonight is the Super Bowl, so I'm gonna go to church right now, and then I'm gonna watch the Super Bowl at my parents' house, probably just till halftime, and then I'm gonna come back, and I think what I'm gonna start on next is All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover. It is a pretty short one. I did try to read some of the longer ones first, but I have a feeling, a very strong feeling, it's going to be pretty much impossible for me to actually read 7 books in 7 days. I'll do my best and we'll just see how it goes.
I was bouncing up and down, you know, that's about all the rhythm I got. Hey, it's late.
So it is Monday afternoon, and I just finished All Your Perfects, got the dishwasher running in the background. No makeup Monday. We're a little bit of a mess this entire video, but it's okay. Wow, you guys, this book, it hit me a little hard, I'm not gonna lie. So this actually is a quick read. It's Colleen Hoover. So trigger warning, this book is about a couple's struggle with infertility, which I did not realize when I picked it up. I probably would not have picked it up because that is something that I have gone through for the past almost 5 years. It is very painful and causes me a lot of grief. And this book, I feel like she just really captured that struggle very, very well, and how that struggle can really affect, unfortunately, a relationship very, very deeply. So the book goes back and forth between like how the couple met and their really happy times at the beginning of their marriage, and then their struggles as they've been married for 7 years, and you know how hurt the woman is by her inability to get pregnant, which affects her relationship with her husband. All in all, I just feel like it was a really well done book, and it is a quick read. So honestly, I would recommend it to anyone who also is struggling with infertility, because it just kind of feels like you're talking to someone who's going through what you're going through. So it's painful, definitely get the tissues ready, but it's a very, very good book. 5 stars from me for sure. But we're actually nearing the end of the 7-day challenge. It technically ends tonight, and I have 5 books done, which of course I'm disappointed that I will not be able to do all 7 books, but honestly, I've had a lot to do. I literally watched the whole 5 episodes of the new season of You. I've spent time with my husband, I've spent time with my family, and so I'm pretty happy with reading 5 books in 7 days. And I am still going to start this one today, A Far Wilder Magic by Allison Saft. This one is the one that seems like it'll be one of my favorites. I mean, this, although it was painful to read, it was 5 stars. This one I think will be like a little less painful of a hopefully 5-star read. I have very high hopes for this one. And then the other one that I'm not going to get to is Bridgerton, The Duke and I. I was thinking about just extending this video until I finished all 7 books, even if it took me 8 or 9 days or whatever. But I will wrap this up tomorrow morning, hopefully through a few hours of reading tonight and then a couple hours of reading tomorrow morning, maybe into the afternoon. I'll be able to finish this one so I can let you know what I think about it. But I'll probably check in with you guys this evening as I get a little bit into this book and give you my first impressions. I try to make my Mondays as chill as possible and do a lot of stuff at home, you know, not do my makeup and everything. So yeah, just looking forward to a peaceful rest of the day. All right, you guys. I gotta admit something to you. So it has been about a week and a half since I last checked in, and I haven't read at all in the last week and a half. And that is something I will say about these videos. When you watch people read a lot in a short amount of time, a lot of times you end up taking a break, I think, for a while after it, because it does just kind of burn you out. Especially, I think, me in this challenge, because I'm not a huge romance person, and I wasn't totally itching to read really any of these. There were a few that I was definitely looking forward to more than others. But once I got through that 7 days and I knew I didn't complete the challenge, I just kind of like shut off reading unintentionally. And I did have a lot of stuff going on. I've had something every single evening for the last week and a half, which has been great in many ways. But that is the time that I would normally read for a few hours at a time. But all that to say, this book that I had just started, A Far Wilder Magic, I only got 3 chapters in. I am on page 21. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I am sure that this is a good book, but I'm just like not in the mood for any type of romance anymore at this moment. So I am gonna put this back on my TBR shelf and I'm gonna start reading something else. Not sure what that'll be, probably historical fiction or a thriller. I'm just looking for something different, I think, to get me out of this little reading rut that I found myself in. And I hope you don't think I like totally failed at this challenge. I almost scrapped this video because I like to complete what I set out to do, but I've done that more than a handful of times, you guys, with other videos that I wanted to put out. Either I didn't vlog as much as I wanted, or I did not complete the challenge, and I want to give you guys some content, but I also want to be real with you about the fact that I'm a normal person who has a lot of stuff to do in the day, and I do read much more than I watch television or anything like that, and that is how I am able to read a lot, but I still have a lot of stuff going on, right? So never feel bad if you watch videos like this and people do complete the challenge, or maybe they read like 150, 200 books in a year and you're like, how the heck are they even doing that? I don't know. I don't know how they're doing that. Maybe that is more of their full-time job, whatever. But I just wanted to say, give yourself some grace. Reading, although I think it's better for your brain than watching television or other things, it still is entertainment. It still is taking you away from other things, especially if you, like me, like reading books rather than listening. I'm not an auditory person myself, but my husband, he can listen to books and mow the grass and do work. I can't do that. I can't really get anything else done when I am reading. So all that to say, it's okay if you don't read a book a day, and I hope you have enjoyed this video. I will tell you, since I've had about a week and a half to kind of reflect on everything that I've read, absolutely, not surprisingly, the one that has stayed with me more than any of the others was All Your Perfects. Again, 5 stars from me. Would highly recommend to literally everyone, unless you, like me, are struggling with infertility. Sometimes you're just not in the right mindset to read about that, but I do think that this was a very empathetic book. I related very much to it. Like I said, I'm still thinking about it, which I don't often do with books that I read. And as far as the rom-com type books, I liked this one probably the most. This is by that local author here in Columbus. I just thought overall it was the best. So it doesn't matter if you don't live here in Columbus and don't recognize some of the street names and businesses. Very good read, very cute, not too graphic at all, which is not what I personally want to read. Spanish Love Deception, I do think is overrated. It was fine. I would say pick it up from the library, pick it up for a couple bucks, borrow it from somebody, read it without super high expectations. To me, it was just kind of strange how it went super Hallmark to very graphic at the end. And there were just a lot of things that were not realistic whatsoever in how characters acted. And it probably could have been a solid 85 pages shorter. Life and Death, I would pass on this unless you are super into Twilight, although I do wish the original books had been written with this swap gender, because I don't know why. I think she did change the dialogue a little bit, but the character Beau instead of the character Bella was to me way less annoying. I actually really liked the character Beau. And like I said, I don't think it's so much that it's like he's a guy and she's a girl. but I think the dialogue was changed a little bit, and I did just like the character more as a boy. So again, wouldn't recommend it because it literally is the same story, except the ending is sped up, I would say. It definitely was a cash grab, 100%. Lessons in Chemistry actually was probably my favorite written book in certain ways. I did, of course, love All Your Perfects, but this had like a certain quirky element to it. I really did enjoy the writing style of Bonnie. I just didn't overall love the story 100% for 5 stars. Lots of good characters and just a little bit of a different story, and I was thinking this was more romance, definitely more historical fiction / literary fiction, I guess, but there are romantic elements to it. And then the Bridgerton book is the other one I didn't get to. Again, just really not in the mood for a romance right now, so I'm gonna put this back on the shelf and I'll read it at some point. But all right, you guys, that was attempting to read 7 romances in 7 days. I do hope you enjoyed. I hope you don't mind that I wasn't able to do it and that I didn't get as much vlog footage as I wanted and all of that. I'll keep trying to be better at these types of videos. If you did like this video, please make sure to give me a big thumbs up and subscribe. Really does help my channel out a lot. And I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Have a wonderful day, and remember that the world is a better place with you in it. Bye.